and Studs! Hey there, my brick family! It's so good to see you again in another video. Sprues and Studs here, and we have a short and sweet little build for you today. This particular set is simply called Hamster. It was released on August 1st, 2021, weighs in at $14.99 as a cost, which is standard for all these Brickheadz pets sets. The set has 243 pieces, so for adult fans of LEGO, it really shouldn't take more than 30 minutes to build. I also want to take this moment to remind you all to subscribe to my channel, as your subscriptions keep this channel going with pumping out random LEGO content. Well, that's not exactly true, because I only buy, build, and put sets together that I'm interested in on my channel. So as you can see, I'm a fan of very random things, but you know that I'm the biggest fan of cars on this channel. Anyways, I also want to take this moment to say follow me on my socials as well. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter as Sprues and Studs. So on my social media channels, you get to see what sets that I bought and what I will be building in future videos, way before the video actually comes out. So in a sense, you're getting behind the scenes access and preview to the stuff that happens on this channel, so come check my socials out. With regards to the set specifically, all Brickheadz pets sets are rather formulaic in that you start off building bigger, or perhaps the parent pet, and then you move on to the baby pet. Then you finally finish off with some sort of platform that the pets sit on. As I have said before, I love the Brickheadz set Goldfish, because that platform is supposed to mimic an aquarium, where the Hamster set is supposed to mimic, I suppose, a cage. The biggest reason why I bought this set is because I absolutely love hamsters. As far back as I can remember, as a child, I've always had hamsters in my life. They're cute and very intelligent little rodents. My first hamster's name was called Chocolate, and this hamster was rather mild-mannered and would allow me to pick her up without a problem. My family bought her in a pet store at a very young age, which is what I recommend you to do. The younger that they are, the more they will get used to your scent and being handled by you. Aside from the fact you would give them little treats to quicken the bond between human and hamster. I would spend hours watching Chocolate running around in her cage. She would run over to the water bottle, have a few sips, and then go to a food bowl, and then stuff her cheek pouches full of grains and seeds. Then she'd go over to her sleep corner, disgorge her cheek pouches, fluff her bedding, and then pass out. What I found absolutely hysterical was that she would wake up from her slumber and sleepily munch on those seeds, and then promptly go back to bed. Speaking of food, I found that all hamsters love sunflower seeds for some odd reason. Whenever I would put seed grains into the food bowl, the sunflower seeds were always the first ones to disappear, completely followed by dried corn. Hamster are also big fans of fresh fruits and vegetables, and I remember feeding all my hamsters either romaine lettuce and carrots, and they would absolutely plow through that stuff. I could see their little beady eyes light up with glee as they munch on the delicious food. Another thing that the hamsters like to do is run around an exercise wheel. Chocolate would specifically crawl into the wheel, and then you would see the wheel spin, and her little legs beneath her would disappear in a blur of movement. I don't know why hamsters will run around in that wheel for 5 to 10 minutes straight, but hey, it occupies their time, and that's what they did. But unfortunately, there are dark and downsides of owning hamsters. Perhaps the most two annoying things about hamsters are that, 1, they love to chew through anything, and then 2, they love to try to escape from their cages. Pretty much anything that you put into their cage, or whatever you hold them in, will be subject to chewing, and this is because they need to wear down their front teeth, due to those front teeth probably being the ones that grow the fastest. They would try to munch through the silicone at the bottom of the aquarium that I kept them in. The food bowl, thankfully, was made of glass, and the exercise wheel was made of metal, so those items were relatively unscathed. However, basically plastic ones, they would not last that long. I remember putting a maze of tubes inside of a cage, and instead of the hamster wandering through the tunnels, they would just camp out at the entrance of the tunnel and then mow down the plastic around the opening. The most annoying thing was their ability to climb and escape from their cage. I remember when I put the maze of tubes inside of the cage, the maze's height was actually pretty near the top of the cage, right? Somehow the hamsters were able to climb up the slippery tubes and then reach the top. They would then push on the lid of the cage and try to chew through the mesh screen and then get out. I've had a couple hamsters escape from their cage, and it was the biggest pain in the ass to try to find them because, being rodents, they can squeeze through small holes and openings and pretty much set up camp anywhere in a house. I remember desperately searching for one of my escapees, hunting around in dark crevices and corners with a flashlight to no avail. Disheartened, I gave up for a few days and started searching again. I thought where I would go if I were a hamster, and one thing that popped in my pea-sized child brain was that animals needed to eat. So maybe, just maybe, I would find the hamster somewhere in the kitchen. And lo and behold, I was correct. I looked on the ground between the gap underneath the oven, and there was my little twerpy hamster. I couldn't use anything to sweep it out, so I decided to use an age-old method that I learned from years and years of watching Tom and Jerry, which was to put a trail of food and to bait out the hamster. I kid you not, this worked perfectly. One by one, the hamster crammed sunflower seeds in its cheek pouches until it crawled into the food bowl, and all yours truly had to do was to pick up the food bowl and put the escapee back in its cage. I know I didn't talk a lot about the set itself, so I'm just going to take some time to do it right now. So in summary, I actually do like this set. That's why I bought it. Do I feel as if this is the best representation of a hamster? And my answer would be, unfortunately, no. I think the hamsters look a bit more like mice than they do hamsters, especially the baby hamster. I can't figure out how the designers would be able to make the models more hamster-like, but perhaps they could put cheek pouches in? Whatever. This is still a cute little set, in my opinion. And there you have it, folks. Thanks for staying with me to the end of the video. Again, I wanted to thank those of you who have subscribed to the channel so early on in its life. I seriously cannot thank you enough for your support. I hope you enjoyed my real-life rambling and storytelling as well as the build itself. I have a quick question for you though. With all these sets, you have the option of putting on either the sunflower seed front plate or the hamster ball front plate. Which would you choose for yourself? Please leave a comment down below and let me know which one you'd pick. This is Sprues and Studs, and I will see you all in the next build.